Jay Blend, Made Man, box with me or box with me. Right now, I'm rocking with the Fly Zone. My boy Fly, come on now. I forgot to say what I did.
See, shit ain't easy. It's improv, man. Improv this shit. Yeah, I know. I feel you. Me too. I know. I'm the behind the camera kind of guy. I don't do this shit.
It ain't easy, is it?
Shit ain't easy, bro. Y'all see what it is, man. Y'all see who I got in the building today, man. I appreciate you, bro, for pulling up, man.
Absolutely.
You are, damn. All right, so you my first guest officially.
Got you.
But I have a guest that I had to put in front of you, unfortunately. You know what I'm saying?
Last
you know what I'm
saying?
saying? You know, politics and shit. You feel me? My own politics. I gotta put Swole on first, man.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. Hey,
you know what I'm saying?
Hey, it's only right.
You are definitely first, second.
Only right. You said Swole. It's only right.
For sure. So I gotta put Bro on first, man. I ever since I started this, like I told him my idea. You know what I'm saying? He was always with the vision. So, he gonna be the first show, but you are definitely gonna be the second show. But first.
Hey, it's all good.
But first,
second show.
But the very first interview.
Yeah.
Very first official interview. Ah, damn, I'm fucking up all over the place, bro. I already had an interview on the Fly Zone. So, the very first official interview was G.I. Jizzle, but it wasn't in this format kind of setting. So, for the podcast, you are the very first interview for the podcast.
All right.
All right. Make sure all y'all got it. That one missed it though, but it's fine. So, man, hey, so what you been doing, man? What you got going on?
Actually, the Made Man show, we back. We back. August 21st was our first show. It was a doubleheader, and like I said off camera, man, it was. I believe that show, it was dope. And I know that I'm my toughest critic. So people say, oh, man, I give it an A+. In my head, I'm looking at it like, nah, that show was a C-.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I know what we can do. But like I said, coming back from a hiatus of, pandemic and not doing anything, I feel like, it was us getting back in the gym saying, okay, yeah, we can still do this. Yeah. We got our reps up. And then our last show was just a couple of Saturdays ago, I believe, September 25th.
Okay.
That show was dope. That show was crazy. I feel like, for me personally, that show made me feel like how it did when we first started, 2018, when we first had the vision, we first hopped on stage, being back at Theater at the Fort after we hadn't been there because of, not just because of the pandemic, because of renovations and everything too. So it had that welcome home type feel.
Okay.
So everybody, as far as the cast, they were just on point. The crowd was live. The whole venue, it was packed. It was just a beautiful feeling. It was just like, all right, we back. It was almost just like, yeah, we've arrived again. So,
again, yeah.
Yeah.
I was lucky enough. Me and my wife, we were lucky enough to be a part of that first wave. You know what I'm saying? And coming to the show, and it was lit. I haven't seen anything like it. You know what I'm saying? Myself, or been somewhere live and actually had that much fun and laughed that hard. My stomach was hurting, bro. Straight up. And my wife, she don't laugh at shit. And you could be Dave Chappelle, you could be Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
She ain't laughing at you. If it ain't funny, she ain't laughing. You know what I'm saying?
I think that itself is a beautiful thing about the show. Is that people don't know that we have this organic funny right in our backyard.
Yeah, for sure.
A lot of times people come, they say, for one, a lot of people didn't know what improv was. And when you hear improv, you go YouTube improv, and you're gonna be like, I'm not going to watch this.
'Cause I remember back in the day, improv to me, it was, I'm going to kill me for not knowing bro name. Brady.
Wayne Brady.
Yeah. So I saw him, it was a couple white dudes.
Whose line is it anyway?
Whose line is it anyway, that show. So when I saw improv I was like, dang, okay. I'm a weird, funny kind of guy. So I like different kind of funny.
Right.
So I was gonna come anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But after going, I was like, damn, this shit is lit. Like how y'all had to wave, how y'all had to. I don't want to get too much away because I'm pretty sure it's parts of this.
Listen, let them have it. I think even with throwing gems out there, it still doesn't do it justice for people just to hear me and you talking about it.
Yeah, because you gotta be there.
You have to come, and it's not one of those selling points because we sell out every single time. But it's like one of the things as the creator and as somebody who actually came and enjoyed it and experienced it, we both can really sit here and say, we can tell them a rundown of the show from start to finish, but
they not gonna be able to feel it. You gotta feel it. So
it's the atmosphere.
Basically, it's the atmosphere for sure because it's like you're not just in the audience. You know what I'm saying? Like when I was there, I felt like I was on the stage too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
I remember you on the left side.
Yep. On your left side. Yep. Right. Yeah. So I felt like I was actually in part of the show. You know what I'm saying? So it was like.
Yeah.
Like, man, I ain't never been, because I'm like, all right, I'm not a good crowd person.
Yeah.
I got social anxiety. But when I went, it was like, man, all that went out the window, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I felt like I was supposed to be there, and then, like, you just won with the whole show. It make you feel like you part of the cast, so you going to be on that next. You know what I'm saying?
No,
like,
for real, that was my initial goal for, I'm like, if I just pack out a venue, people feel like, I can be watching this on screen, or I can just catch this somewhere else. It's just like, no, I want you to feel like you're actually here.
Yeah.
And once you're here, I want you to, a lot of times, people bring out their cell phone and stuff, and that's cool, but I think it's super dope when I look up and the cell phone is not out at all, because it's just like, I'm so
involved.
It's dope. It's like, dang, in my head as a creator, it's a beautiful thing, is because when I create content, I'm not just creating it just because it's just like, haha, that'd be funny. Yeah, I'm creating some funny parts, but within that, I'm trying to weave in some substance. I'm trying to weave in some stuff that's gonna make you laugh, and then later on, we're gonna be like, hold on, I didn't even know you meant that.
Like it was deeper than All right, so we actually went straight to the finish line. We weren't supposed to do that.
Okay. Well,
so let me rewind. Rewind. All right, so who are you? What made you like who you are today? Basically, is what I'm asking, man. Because a lot of people been in this city. A lot of people do comedy. A lot of people do some things that you do. You know what I'm saying? So like, what made you like want to do comedy? Like your upbringing. Like what made you bring the funny, and then what made you kind of like go at it the way that you going at it?
I think, and I know people always say that, like, I've been doing this all my life, but really, seriously, like, I have, like, old footage and stuff, too. Like, me and my brother, I was probably, like, 8 or 9 at the time, and my brother's a little bit older than me, and we had this show called Enos and Parker. Don't know why that was the name, Enos and Parker, but
I was gonna ask.
I have no
where
idea
you got the name from.
I don't know.
Enos and Parker.
Enos and Parker, and we literally would. So my parents, they have 6 kids, so we literally would every Sunday would go into the room, and they would sit. Some people would sit on the top bunk, some people would sit on the bottom bunk, and it was almost to us. It was like, that's the balcony. This is the floor.
Y'all had a whole show,
and we had, and we would just go off the top of the dome. We didn't never say this is what today's show is going to be about.
Yeah.
And I literally have footage of this, and we would literally just be back there just creating a whole scene. If we need some extra people, we would just create them and act like we talking to them. We open the door, not really bringing another person in, but just talking to. And it was literally just like at that young age.
I'm gonna need that footage, by the way.
Oh, I'm gonna get you that footage.
Right.
For sure. That's a fact. So I think at a young age, I just always loved making people laugh. Like that was when I was in 1st grade. And I was about to go to 2nd grade. Thought in my head was like, dang, somebody gonna be funnier than me in 2nd grade. And I got to 2nd grade, I was like, oh, I got it unlocked. And then next year, I'm like, dang, 3rd grade, somebody. And I did that. I promise, I did that all the way up into high school. To where I was just like, this is just in my DNA. Like it should be like this. My pops hilarious. Like his side of the family hilarious. Like it's just in my DNA. So what kind of just like start turning to me to say, what do I want to do with this? Is that when in high school they got you checking these boxes saying, what do you see yourself in 5 years? And I honestly didn't feel like none of them boxes applied to me, because it was just like, dang, this is not what I want to do. Or even if they said, you want to do something in media, I'm like, yeah. And it's like, you can do it with a camera, and I was like, no, I don't want to do that. Well, you can do plays, and I was like, dang, I don't really want to do that. So they kind of had me feeling like the eyeball, like what you want to do is not out there. So what can you do that falls into these boxes? And in all my life, I was like, I have to create my own lane. I have to. But it wasn't until I didn't feel like it was obtainable until I started like maturing, like in college and stuff, to say like I can probably turn what I do on a regular into something, even into $1.
So what was that moment? Like what moment was like, all right, this money right here, like
my very first show at Vincennes University.
I went to Vincennes.
Yeah, they basically they wanted me to host a fashion show.
Okay.
And from the jump, I was like, nah, I really don't want to do that. Because I'm thinking it's like, oh, Justin is wearing the blue jean jacket with the black shirt. I thought that that's what it was until they showed me some footage. And they was like, no, it's like a cultural thing. Like, this is the thing at Vincennes. So I'm like, I'm looking at the footage, and I'm watching a video of Damon Golden. I'm watching a video of him just clowning on stage. And he's almost like the entertainment until everything else comes out, until I'm just like, and I'm in awe, like he gets to do, like he gets to go up there and just do this, like just at his free will, just and they're like, yeah, we want you to do that, and I'm like, and I didn't want to really mimic after him, and I was just like, dang, I've never touched a microphone before, I've never been on stage, I was scared, terrified, I literally, they said, how many scenes is it? It's like 13, so I said, okay, I know I gotta have a opener and a closer, so I wrote down 15, like, I can talk about this topic for this one, then I can talk about this topic. And that first show, I was like, Lord, if this joke don't go over and they don't laugh, like I don't know how I'm gonna feel. And I'm gonna be like, man, I gotta transfer schools or something. I went out there, did the first joke, and that mug just landed, and the place just erupted. It was just like people cracking up.
It was up after that,
bro. And I was just like, oh snap! And it wasn't until with the improv stuff come in that. Is I told you I had like 15 things on my list. So at a fashion show, it's like you on a time limit, so I can get done with a joke, and I look to the side, and they like keep going. The models is not ready, so I'm like,
now oh shit.
So now by the time I got off for the first set, I literally ran through like 6 topics.
Damn.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh God, what am I gonna do?
You got 6 topics, and that's the first set.
Facts.
Right. You could do the math.
Right.
He was hit.
So you're talking about all this other stuff, like, and people always say, like, where do you come up with this? So if you've been to a Made Man improv show, you will see stuff like, I do Made Man musical chairs, I do old school versus new school dance off, and these
That's crazy.
Yeah, these wasn't just nothing that I was just like, I should add this to the show. That very first show I did, I didn't have no more material, and I seen families here, so I'm like, oh, I can get some of the older people
making
here.
Shit up as you go.
Let's have a battle. Let's have a model walk. Let's have and people. That's where the crowd interaction stuff came in too, because people they come out and they support, but it's like if I got an opportunity to be on stage too, I'm gonna do it. So that's where all those games and stuff came from, and then from that, when you're talking about actually turning it into $1, is when the second organization hit me up and was like, we want you to host this show. Blase, whatever. I did it. I felt amazing. Went to my dorm, got a call and said, can you come in Monday to pick up a check? I get a check for this?
What?
Exactly.
How much was that check?
$500.
Oh, that's hard. In college? Oh, you was rich,
bro,
nigga.
In college.
I went to Vincennes, nigga. I was stealing stuff from the gas station, bro.
Bro, Walgreens.
Yeah, I was at Hardee's, nigga, pinching dollars. Damn, I need some more change. Shit, I only get 1 burger.
Facts.
I ain't bullshit.
So the first time, so when they got that call, and I was like, I literally was laying down, and I sat up, and I'm like, because at the time she didn't tell me how much it was, Miss Regina, and I was just like, a check? And she was like, yeah, and she just said it smooth, like, yeah, come pick up your check on Monday. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And then I went to the office, got the check, opened that mug up, and I was just like, what? And I'm thinking to myself, like, no, like, there's no way I literally just had that much fun and got paid for it.
Nah, for sure.
There's no way that I literally just, like, was passionate about what I just did on stage
Something
and got a check for it.
Yeah.
And then after that, it was game over. Like, I didn't turn Hollywood, but at the same time, when I knew my worth at that point in college, now these organizations, especially these organizations who got the bag.
Oh, for sure.
So it was just like, nah, ain't nobody pimping me. It's over. And it was to a point where they had cut off my meal plan for something. Like, that's how they do you at school. Like, they cut off your meal plan if something ain't going right with your student finance.
To show you they did the same thing.
Yeah, so it's almost like starve him out. We'll talk to him. So I was literally in my room not eating some days. On the phone with my mom, and she about to send me some money. And she was like, I thought you just said you host that one show. And I was like, I did. She was like, why you didn't get paid for that? And in my head, you know, you try to be defensive. I'm like,
Yeah.
well, Mom, this is opportunity and blah, blah,
Yeah,
blah.
yeah, yeah.
But that never left my head. And I was like, why am I sitting in this room
Not
starving
getting paid, yeah.
and literally doing this, you know, going out and then everything. When I say when I met Charles Surrett, my mentor, Bam, and I actually have a spinoff show of the Made Man Show called Bam Boom.
Okay.
That I named after him and one of my friends. But when I
Yeah.
met him, it's like he just put me in a position like to win.
Okay.
Like he seen something in me that I didn't see in myself, and he put me in a position to say, no, I want you to actually, you right here, and all you got to do is just shift, turn around, and all this stuff start coming towards my way. So before I left Vincennes, he was like, I want you to have something, just to put your stamp on the city. And he really wanted me to do a play, but I was like, man, it's gonna be a lot of casting, a lot of rehearsals.
It's a lot.
So he was like, well, what do you want to do? And I was thinking, in my head, I'm thinking like a one-man show. I was like, I know I'm gonna show up.
For sure.
Yeah, so I was like, I don't depend on. I
Yeah.
know I'm gonna be there. So I was thinking, he was like, well, I want you to use some people from your organization. So I was like, what if I did a variety show? And he was like, what does that look like? And then from there, it's almost like, I don't know what it looked like, but let me figure some stuff out. And then I was like, we can do improv games. And I actually went out and shot short films because I was like, man, the Chappelle Show is hard. I like Whose Line Is It Anyway? I like all that. I like all these shows.
Yeah.
And then I was just like, maybe
You just hit home on some shit.
I was just like, maybe I can remix this mug. And that's one thing people are afraid to do. They're afraid to be inspired by something and then remix it. I'm like, that's what inspiration is.
I just had a conversation with somebody about that too, because I was talking about myself, and I'm inspired by somebody on Instagram.
Yeah.
But you know how we are as a culture, like, man, you don't want to be a copycat and all that. And I was telling her, my business partner, Shamika So Successful, I was telling her, she was like, everybody get inspiration from somewhere.
Thanks.
You know what I'm saying? Like, use it, but just put your own little twist on it. Like, don't be scared because everybody gets something from somewhere. You know what I'm saying? You got to mimic something to get something. Like, how you think you got that camera in your hand? You know what I'm saying? So you had to get something from somewhere. So I was like, yeah. So you just hit home on that.
Bro, and that's exactly what it was. And it was just like, I wasn't scared for people to be like, man, this is like so-and-so. This is like whatever. Because in my head at the time, I had kind of like formatted my show around almost like Whose Line Is It Anyway? Because we didn't have a big cast like that. It was just me and like 5 other people. But I think the primary thing with the short films, we probably showed like 9 short films within the show. And I did it like the Chappelle Show, where it's almost like a comical lead-in.
That's
and then I
hard.
cue it right up into the films. And I really want to get back to that.
I was about to say, you need to get back
That's
to it,
a
because I
fact.
seen that one thing you did. I forgot what it was. I think it was it a promo for your show? I mean, for the for the
The one
improv
with the
show.
shooting thing.
Yeah, when you
Yeah.
came out, I was like, that was
So
hard.
that actually was the
Yeah.
beginning of the show, and I feel like that set the tone. Period.
Oh, yeah.
Because people didn't know what to expect at the Jay Bland Made Man show at Vincennes.
I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, so when the screen came down and that actually showed, and they seeing like, oh, like they seeing the graphics, like, man, this is cold,
Yeah.
and then the screen raises up, and it's almost like it just happened. I'm in the same suit and everything. Like that was the intro to the show. So everybody was like, oh, this is hard.
Hold on, bro. Hold on. Wait a minute. What year was this?
2013.
So, when was that Kevin Hart?
Somebody said the same thing. That was after me. Yeah, that was after me.
Yeah,
That was after
he
me.
definitely
Check
bit
the
you.
dates.
He definitely, because I'm sitting here like,
Check
man,
the
hold on.
dates.
That sounds like
Somebody
Kevin Hart.
somebody just said that too. Somebody said, somebody actually put me to the side and said, bro, I was going to ask you, did you get that from Kevin Hart? And if I did, it wouldn't be a problem. But it was like, I was going to ask you. It's like, but I checked the dates.
That's like 2016,
Yeah.
maybe 16. That was like 4 years ago.
Yeah.
5.
He said,
Hold on. Yeah.
So I did
That's
that,
hard.
like leading right into it,
Yeah.
into the show, and then from there it was bro, it was up. Like it was. I felt like I'm home, not necessarily at Vincennes, but just on that stage,
Yeah.
what I was doing. I was like, this is it. Like this has got to stick.
So when it come to this whole comedy thing, just like anything, everything, like competition, like who do you view? I ain't even gonna say, we gonna say friendly competition. Like, do you have any? Do you see like, all right, this is my competition, or you just?
I feel like my competition is. Do you see any?
I'm just saying.
I feel like honestly, my competition. Honestly, and I'm not trying to sound political or whatever, but as far as with me not being afraid to sample stuff,
For
and
sure.
me not being afraid to to push the envelope and test the waters. Even with the scripts and stuff that I do, I don't really see any, especially here in the city. I don't see anybody as competition. And there are other groups that are dope, but I don't see anybody as like competition. Because when I think of competition, I think of like, okay, we about to go play basketball, and I got to guard you.
For sure.
And I got to play defense on you.
Yeah.
And I got to score on you. And I got to outshine you.
Yeah.
And as far as that here, as far as in the city, or as far as what I do, that's not how I view it. I view it as like me just in the gym saying, I got to get better.
For
I got to
sure.
get better.
So you your own competition.
For sure.
Basically what you're saying.
Because like I said, with me being my toughest critic, like, and people, like I said, so many people will be like, bro, your show was A1. And I'm thankful and I'm appreciative, but you're not looking at it from the lens I'm looking at it
Yeah,
from.
for sure.
And even from a film point of view, they wouldn't see it how you see it.
Right.
You'd be like, bro, I could have did this right here. And I'm thinking like, dang, that would have been dope. But everybody else is like, oh, no, that's cool.
Yeah.
But our standards are totally
You
different.
just got to keep getting better.
Yeah, so
and better.
so like I said, there's some dope improv groups here in the city.
Yeah, I didn't even know. No, that's when I was saying that. I was really just thinking purely on comedy.
Yeah.
Period.
So when you talking about like just pure comedy. Period. Like no, I have some people that that I will actually say that I feel like are funny and feel like are like super dope and actually like are leveling up on a daily. Like when I see people like Nate. I'm not sure if you know him. Matter of fact, he do these little cooking videos and stuff too, where he
I ain't checked him out. And I'm bad. I'm like the wrong person to ask on that because I got this little bubble I'm in right now. I'm coming out of it. You know what I'm saying? Like right now, that's why I'm trying to get the people that I know to get on the fly zone. So I can get moments like this where I'm like, oh, who was that? Like then I could go look out and then expand and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
And it's a platform for people to like know other people too. Like. If you know some people, if you want to shout out, like some people probably gonna get on here and they ain't gonna want to shout out no other motherfucker. But you know what I'm saying? It's just the conversation to get people to see other things in the culture in the city. You know what I mean?
Right.
But definitely gonna check out what's his name, Nate.
Nate. Yeah.
That's it.
No, Nate. I think he go by Nate Russ. But then there's a dude Nate Robinson.
Okay.
Nate Robinson funny. Nate Russ is funny.
So it's some funny niggas named Nate.
So your name is Nate. You might want to jump into the comedy world.
Because obviously it's two Nates already. Great funny motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? So
it's an improv group called Active Food Improv.
Okay.
And when you're talking about just like foundation funny, as far as like you was talking about, they're more of a whose line is it anyway?
Okay.
Just right there, raw.
Punch. Boom. Boom.
Yeah. And it's just like, and two of their people, Gritty and the Craftsman, hilarious. Two young cats, hilarious. Like when I think of like me growing up and watching Keenan and Kel, like they kind of embody that old school, but we here in the new school type funny. So like I said, it's a lot of like improv. I mean, it's a lot of comedians and there's a few improv groups here in the city.
Which y'all can tap into later on, but.
Facts.
It was my fault. I stirred that up. But at the same time, where will they find, like, if they want to go to your improv show? Matter of fact, scratch that, because I got one question I've been meaning to ask, because I remember you hit on something earlier, and I want to talk about it, because you said it's a message. When you go, you have your jokes, you got everything going, but in the back of your mind, you still got something to play to where people leave with something.
Yeah.
So what made you do that, and what was the message from the last show?
I think growing up in a church, it's always like you always want to have, even if somebody don't get the preacher.
Oh, that's the best part. My bad. I'm sorry, y'all. I keep on cutting off. That was my favorite part. Like when we was the choir, hands down, bro. I was like, man, we just went to church.
Yeah.
So
that's what I said. If you give them some ratchet, you gotta give them some
a little gospel.
Yeah. So it was just like, and one of the things was, one of my homies, he had said that, bro, I didn't know how to feel about, the whole Kirk Franklin set when y'all did that. He was like, man, I just really don't be playing with God. And in my head, I'm like, well, I'm not playing with God.
Yeah.
And I said, and then you got to look at it from the lens of, when we have those sets, that's the only piece of Jesus somebody might get throughout
and it was real though. Like it was really real. Like at that point in time, I was really going to church. Bro. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I'm like, dang, I ain't been to church in a minute, and that kind of gave me that
little
rush.
Reminder that we can have fun, and not even from a Christian point of view, but just from when you're talking about substance. Like we're just talking about like everyday problems, everyday struggles, things that we see on a regular. It's like we got racism going on 24/7. How am I going to incorporate that in the show and make it funny? But what I do is, like, we have a sketch called The Upside Down, to where I flip the characters and say, all right, now the black people, we're the majority, and white people are the minority. And just for a comical aspect, all the black people wear blonde wigs. And it's just, like, super funny. So, but now when white people and black people are sitting together in the crowd and they actually viewing this together, it's funny, but then you start seeing them laugh,
it's a little
because it's like, dang, is that how white people, like, how, is that how we treat the show, or is that how y'all feel? And it stirs up conversation.
That's great.
So that's just one aspect of it. And then, like, with the whole thing with TD Mistakes. So we have a character called TD Mistakes, and it's a spoof of
I thought you said titty mistake.
TD Mistakes. I thought you said Titty Mistakes.
My bad, bro. You see where my mind at.
So Will Edders, he plays this character TD Mistakes, and this spoof of TD Jakes.
Gotcha.
So basically, we just have these people, you know, send in these relationship issues and these relationship problems, and we'll read it out publicly, and it'd be funny. And then on top, but at the same time,
real relationship issues.
So they won't be like from a real person.
Oh, all right. Because I'm sitting here like that's funny.
Bro, are these real people?
Yeah, these real people.
However, we are gonna get to a point where you actually can send them in and then see the response that TD Mistakes give you. So a lot of these are simulated, and just from like we'll watch different stuff or we'll see different stuff happen, and then we'll simulate a question based off of that situation, and then we'll feed it to TD Mistakes, and he will literally, it will be super funny, but he's always coming out of the Bible with some type of answer. So even if so, and it's gonna sound crazy, but even if it's something sexual, you will find a scripture, and it might not even be talking about sex. If the things say, you know, something about thy rod. Yeah, and it's just like, so that's where you're going.
Oh, man, okay, that's hard.
Yeah, so it's super, like I said, it's super comical. And all the time, I'm not looking to be like, y'all gotta leave with some. But it is like, if nothing else, I want y'all to see this and see that this was my dream that was in my head that manifested because I start putting that work in and I start surrounding myself with people, because it literally did not happen overnight. What they seen in 2013 with the Jay Bland Made Man show, and what you see now, Made Man Improv, is just a testimony of me taking myself out the way and saying I want to put other people on. Hence me taking the Jay Bland Made Man show to just the Made Man Improv show. Because I don't feel like Made Man is my name. I don't feel like that's my name no more. That name was given to me by my buddy Christian, just because everything I was doing at Vincennes, he was just like, oh, you the Made Man, you the Made Man. But now it's like a brand, and it's like it felt like a last name, because when I go places and they say it's Made Man in the building, they're not talking about me. They saying, oh, it's you and all your people here. So it's not like, oh, it's Justin here. They're saying, no, it's Made Man here. So it was literally me taking Jay Bland out of the way, taking myself out the way, and saying, you know what? I've had my shine. I want to create a platform for other people to actually come and be able to grow and say, dang, like, I can do this. Like, I can be around like-minded individuals and actually grow, and it ain't got to be no space for somebody judging me or saying, no, I'm trash or whatever, but they literally just allow me to grow. And from that helps me grow as far as leadership. Because when you're dealing with adults, everything ain't always going to be like...
Yeah, for sure.
Exactly. It's not going to always be like textbook, like, oh, no, we're adults, so we should be able to handle this.
You see where I'm at. I'm by myself right now, you know what I'm saying? But I definitely understand. So who's, like, your team? Like, who's your team right now? Like, is it the same team that you started with, or like...
Yeah, so right now I have a group called the Core Four, and they literally, like, was with me from the jump.
Okay.
So that consists of Gerald Anderson, Troy Oliver, Marcus Elliott, and William Edders.
Okay.
And then from the as we start to grow, it's like 2019, we added my buddy Roger McCoy. So that's like my starting five.
Gotcha.
But then now what I'm doing is I'm kind of building a class around them, because it's cool to be top tier on stage.
For sure.
But then it's like, okay, now what else can I learn? Yeah, we have a lot to learn on stage, but my goal and my challenge to them is like, I now need you to be an effective leader, not just a good leader, but see somebody and say, okay, this person is already right here. Let me talk to them, but this person's right here. Let me not just give them the same treatment. Let me try to build this person's confidence to bring them up too, so they can be, top tier and feel like have that confidence too. So so that's my starting five, And when I do promo and stuff, when I get back to doing promo and stuff, that's who
He's getting back to doing.
Yeah, that's a fact. So that's who I'll be kind of like pushing, just because they earned their stripes. They've been in from the jump. But some people that I just added on, my buddy Coop, and I did shows with him at Vincennes and stuff. So it was a great feeling, like getting back on stage.
That's nostalgic.
Yeah,
that's dope.
My friend Jasmine, Kelly. I know some people down Bria, but it's just dope being on stage with my peers. And yeah, we have like not really auditions, but we have open sessions for people to kind of come and say, I want to utilize this platform too.
Yeah.
But as of right now, just like from the past 3 shows, I just had that feeling like I'm looking around like these are literally my friends, and we're literally doing something that the city thoroughly enjoys. And I would be crazy not to shout out my supporters. Like, cause just as much as like people enjoy the Geralds, the Marcuses, the Troys, the Williams on stage, like I can look out into the crowd and be like, dang, so and so showed up. Like,
it's like
it's like I got you. It's dope to have those new supporters, especially this new. I mean, just this last wave, like the new supporters, they going crazy.
That's
like,
tight.
I've been sitting out on this for how long? Y'all been doing this for how long?
Yeah.
But then we got some supporters that just like,
I want a shirt.
Everything.
I need some apparel.
Oh yeah, we got
bro.
to.
I need something.
I was literally just talking to somebody about that. Like, now I got to get back on that grind. As far as that, I would just stop cold turkey with no real reason. But I was just like, I need that merch back, especially at the shows. Yeah, I need that. Yeah.
So I'm waiting. Man. I'm like, I need me a hat or something, a shirt or something, man. But man, it was great talking to you, bro.
Man.
Like I said, appreciate you coming through. Anything you want to tell the people? All right, so I guess I got to pose this question before we leave, because I always want somebody like to drop a gem or leave something for the people, because this show isn't just a show, you know what I'm saying, for y'all to laugh at or talk stuff about somebody on, you know what I'm saying. This is something I want to leave people with some real gems and, you know, something to think about, something to talk about. So what is something that you want to leave to the culture, you know what I'm saying, that you think that we need?
I think, and I said this at the you asked me a question earlier, said what was the message. It wasn't really a message, but I felt compelled to say it at the show. And what I said was, it's already in you. I feel like a lot of times we look for certain things. And even off camera, man, you was talking, it was like, man, we looking for certain things. But what we looking for is, it's like internal. And one thing that really made me see that was that I was, it was a few years ago, I was texting my friend, Ebony Collins. Me and her was talking. And I said, how are you doing the screen record thing? Like, that's tight. I didn't know how to do it. I was like, how you doing the screen record thing?
You just funny.
Bro, I was like, how do you do, like, how do you
I'm a comedian. I don't want to do that shit.
Exactly. I was like, this is technical stuff.
Sure.
So I was like, what app do I have to download to get this, to get the screen record thing?
What kind of phone you got?
It's an iPhone, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Continue.
But that really raises my point.
Yeah.
So where she was like, you don't have to download it. It's already on your phone. It's already downloaded on your phone. And I was just like, in my head, I'm like, oh, that was hard. But she didn't know what I was talking about. But I needed that in that moment.
Yeah,
and I was like, dang, I was looking for something, trying to find something to add. All I had to do was just tap into my settings, and it was already in me. So that's what my platform is for. And that's what the message I want to say to anybody out there is that a lot of times we put ourselves in situations that we don't have to go through. We put ourselves in these tough times that we don't have to go through. And we look for something that's already in us. We think like, I want to be great, so I want to go out here and do it. Yeah, you have stuff to accomplish, and yes, you have to put that work in. But the stuff that you're really looking for, like all that stuff is just already in us. And you just have to put yourself in an environment and put yourself around like-minded people for you to be like, dang, this is already in me. Like, this person is pulling this out of me. And that's all I do. I don't teach improv. I don't teach acting. I put people in situations to see that, dang, that greatness was being in me this whole time. And I just ain't been around the right people to bring it out of me. So, yeah.
Once again, you're not really in church. We don't. It's like he don't make it church, you know what I'm saying? But he make it church. Like, I'm over here about to cry, like, dang, bro. The crazy thing is, bro, like, I just made a post that said exactly what you said without saying what you said. Like yesterday, like, that was my post on Facebook. I forgot what it was. I ain't got my phone on me, but it was along them lines, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's already like, don't look, I think it was something like, don't look to be something else because you already You know what I'm saying?
Thanks.
Like we always in search of that something. Like I want to be this, I want to be that, but just keep doing you. You already it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
You're it already. Tag you it. You know what I'm saying? You been it. You was born with it. You know what I'm saying?
Ain't
So
nobody be a better you than you.
man,
And that's why it's just like
that's why you.
I don't see I don't see competition.
Ain't no That was really a trick. That was really a trick question.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because really, at the end of the day, there's no such thing as competition to me. Because like even with this camera stuff, like it could be a million people doing podcasts. It could be a million people shooting videos or whatever. I'm still just gonna do it my way.
Thanks.
It could be the most basic way in the world, but my moves, the way I see something, or like it might just be one little tweak of the lens that I do every time that nobody else do. Is just like a special way I do stuff, or who I am, or how I act around people that just make it that much different. You know what I'm saying? So that was the word there, bro. Man, where can we find you at? Like, I would ask you where your website at. we gon' when these cameras turn off, man.
Coming soon.
We working on. All right.
All right, coming soon.
Wix, like, I got you, bro. Like, I'm still working on my website. You know what I'm saying? So like, I don't mind like helping people when it comes to marketing, promo, all that. I feel like that was my God-given gift for me to get paid sometimes or not, and like it just depends on the person, but. Just holler at me, bro.
Yeah.
I don't give a damn what it is. You know what I'm saying? And you, my cousin's friend. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's whatever. My phone always open. This is really an off the camera conversation.
Hey, we holding to it. We got footage. We hold.
Damn! Oh shit!
We holding to
This
it.
footage can always be edited. This is not live.
But as of right now, follow me on Instagram at JBlandMadeMan. Follow me, Made Man Improv Academy. And that's on Instagram and Facebook. I'm really active on both of those. So if you shoot me a message, boom, I get to it ASAP. Whatever it is, if it's talking about tickets, if it's talking about how you can be a part. Like I said, that opportunity is coming. It's always available. I'm always looking for new talent. I'm always looking for people I can push that out of and just really just grow with and vibe with. So, yeah.
All right. And did you drop how the new people can come and get in contact with you? They can go there too. They can just DM you.
Yep, just DM me.
Okay.
And then once we have an open session, I invite you to that open session, and it's not nothing. You're not going to audition. I don't like the whole audition, the whole process of somebody trying to stand before me and trying to, because that's not how it's going to be.
It make you like,
it's just like I don't want to stand there like you're not good enough. Get out of here. Like I don't want to me personally. I never like no audition process, but so it's just like let's give them real time situations. Now you're gonna be in this game with Gerald and Will and Marcus and Troy, and we can really actually give you some real time practice. To where say, okay, we see that this person fit in right here, this person fit in right there, and that way it's a smoother process when you hop on stage. It's like, okay, we feel like we know each other now. So
dope. Yeah. All right, man. Thanks for coming through.
I appreciate you, brother.
That's love, man. Yeah. Like I said, the first, second. Third, but first, second, I'm gonna figure it out. But he the very first interview on the podcast, the Fly Zone podcast, man. Make sure y'all check him out on Instagram. Thank you for dropping that last word. That was definitely, you know what I'm saying, one to stand on, one to live by. I'm gonna apply it to my life, my day, my motivation. You know what I'm saying. So that's it, man. Y'all can catch us every Wednesday. I'm saying that now because I had to make up a day. Every Wednesday. Catch us every Wednesday at the Fly Zone. Subscribe to my YouTube page at Fly Heavy Media. That's where the Fly Zone will be stationed at. So that's about it, man.